everyone, welcome to my channel Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Capricorn for February 1st to the 7th. But before we do that, just letting you all know it's that time again on Bow and Arrow Tarot. I'm giving away another Love Oracle deck. Now, this one is the Island Time Wellness Love Oracle deck. I have done an unboxing. It is linked in the description. And some of you, of course, who have been watching my weeklies, my recent videos, see me using the deck. We're going to be using it again today. You can go ahead and pull out your 3 Love Oracle cards. I used to use the Romance Oracle deck. I will use the Romance Oracle deck again, but it's just taking a little break from that deck. Certainly not using it during the weeklies. All right, let's get your 3 cards out, Capricorn. Then we're going to get right into your animal spirits and your reading, okay? All right, so your first card out is the Mirror. Now, I do apologize because the black on black, they don't focus as well as I'd like. But nevertheless, the Mirror, really talking about introspection, you know, looking at a dynamic, looking at a relationship for what it is, really reflecting also on the past, right? The Sword and the Rose. Wow, clarity, truth coming in, understanding, revelation, right? And we have the Boat. Wow. Receiving what you need, right? Things coming in and out, arriving. Wow. Okay, very good indeed. I have to say, I did try to film this video a couple times, and I was trying to get positioning of the cards, and these are the exact same 3 cards that came out in the last run of this video. It's quite interesting. All right, let's get your animal spirits out, Capricorn. That's never happened to me before. All right, guys, let's get right into it. We're going to pull out your animal spirits and see what other what other essences or energies may be sort of working with you this week. Animal spirits can really sort of indicate the ability to tap into certain energies, or the need, perhaps, or desire to tap into certain energies. They can also sometimes represent characteristics of people you might be dealing with. So let's get out your animal spirits, and of course just take what applies to you. If it doesn't resonate, that's fine, Capricorn. The Owl. Oh, I love this one. Of course, this is the totem of blessing for wisdom and abundance. The Scorpion, fire energy. Okay, so this is much more a personality trait, animal spirit. And we have the Golden Egg. All right, so this is the 4th chakra, the heart chakra. Let's move this all up just a little bit so we have room. All right, guys, so let's get right into your animal spirits, then we'll get into your spread. The Owl. The Owl, like I said, is synonymous with abundance coming in, right? It is synonymous with sort of wealth coming in, wisdom coming into your life, right? Understandings coming in. The Owl is just a beautiful sort of omen, right? So this is an omen, and this is just an energy of sort of positivity, life sort of favoring you. The Owl is also the consort for Lakshmi, which is the Hindu goddess for beauty, creativity, and also for abundance. But yeah, the Owl also talks about the wisdom that you sort of employ when you are getting, hang on, let me fix this. When you are having a lot of sort of abundance coming in or wealth coming in, the wisdom that comes with it, the wisdom to actually know what to do with that, to not squander it, right? All of that also comes with the Owl. So it's not like you're just winning, you know, the lottery, and you know what I mean? It's also sort of oftentimes they come very much hand in hand, really at a time in your life where you know what you can do with the rewards that are coming your way. You're really making the most out of them coming in. Now, the Scorpion, it's similar to the Scorpio, but it is different. This is the actual animal, the Scorpion, and this is a fire elemental animal spirit, and they do share some similarities. The Scorpion is a very private animal spirit, you know, so if someone who's resonating with this is generally going to be very much to themselves. They're very careful who they let in. Usually generally have a very small friendship group, right? The energy of the Scorpion though is to be highly competitive. So this is generally when you're feeling If you're feeling very, very extremely competitive and you're ready to just really take out your your opponent, excuse me, this is very much a Scorpion energy coming in. Also, though, the Scorpion holds on to slights. So when you lose or when things don't go your way, the Scorpion very much holds on to that and sort of lets that fester. It gets quite bitter. So you want to be careful. If you feel like you're resonating with this energy, it's time to let go. And this is why we pull animal spirits, because certain energies that we resonate with, sometimes we can sort of relate that to an animal spirit. And if we recognize it, maybe either embrace that energy or let go of it, depending on it. And yes, on the one hand, the Scorpion is very competitive, highly talented individual. And that, of course, that competitiveness can be healthy and something to hold on to. But the anger, the frustration that oftentimes Scorpion energy holds on to, you want to try to let go of. This is the individual who tends to sort of stick to the shadows, right? They don't want anybody to know that they're watching. But Scorpion energy and individuals, people who resonate with Scorpion energy generally are always watching, taking in information. But they don't want you to know that they're watching, right? So this can also be an energy that you're resonating with, or you may know somebody who's behaving like this or resonating like this. Now, the golden egg associated with the heart chakra, and of course, it is a golden egg because we associate the heart with warmth, right? And the ability to open up our hearts, right? To be receptive, to give love, to receive love is all sort of a version of being warm, right? Wanting to be warm, wanting to be sort of nurturing, right? Protective, when we feel warm, we feel nurtured and protected, we feel safe, we feel more confident. And of course, this is all the things that we want to come in when we're trying to open up our hearts. The golden egg talks about you may be dealing with somebody who is right now trying to open up their heart more, their heart chakra. You may yourself be having gone through a healing process, Capricorn, or just entering a certain stage in your life where your heart chakra is opening up for whatever reason, depending on the experiences you've had or the people you may have met. In any case, it's interesting because the Sword and the Rose does really talk about a revelation coming in, a truth that comes in, an understanding that comes in that can turn into a real ideal or a real passion. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the golden egg and your heart chakra opening up to something, right? To a way of life, perhaps a philosophy, an environment, a culture, whatever the case may be. All right, Capricorn, let's pull out your first spread. We're going to pull out 3 spreads for this week and see what you may or may not be going through. And of course, just take it as it applies to you. There's your abundance, 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, 8 of Swords, wow. So some of you are coming into this week with a huge amount of abundance. Abundance has either come into your life recently or is about to come in. This week it's highlighted, right? Because this is the energy you're coming in with, right? 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is generally also not only just wealth, like a level of wealth comes in that really levels you up. You have everything you need. When 10 of Pentacles type of abundance, wealth, or rewards comes in, or financial stability comes in, on this level, it's everything that you need, right? It's everything that you need to accomplish all your dreams. It's everything that you need to support your family, if you have a family, to progress forward. And oftentimes in 10 of Pentacles, we also talk about reaching a 10 of Pentacles when you've also acquired the wealth of a happy home life. That is a wealth too. It's not necessarily sort of valued in money terms, but Pentacles doesn't necessarily represent actual money or actual numbers, quantifiable. Pentacles represents the material world, and of course there is abundance in the material world, but it's not something that we will calculate by numbers. And so a happy home life, a deep loving connection with someone so that you can sort of carry on the family name, carry on the lineage and all of that, that is a form of wealth too, and that is the final piece of the puzzle. So some of you are getting that. Not only are you resonating up with wealth and abundance, financial stability, but it's also this coming together, I think, of a union or a family. Something has solidified. And it's the end of struggle. This week you come in, and this week, whatever happens this week, really marks the end of you struggling, the end of you sort of having to deal with a lot of ups and downs. I think for some of you, this could certainly be a work thing. in the sense that you may have reached a certain level at your job where now you are the boss, right? You don't have to deal with somebody constantly sort of testing you or knocking you down, and you having to constantly pick yourself up. That's what Ten of Swords is all about. It's a real sort of end to a period of time where we've really been hurt and our ego has really been put through the test. Ten of Swords represents us dying as well, in a sense. It's like the old you dies as a result of it. And there's a new sort of Capricorn that rises out of all of this, because that stage of your life now is finally over. And we always talk about a new you rising from these situations, because it's true. When you've gone through a really long period of struggling in some kind of way and that period is over, you are a different person. You know, we all are different people. And ideally, the new version of us can't really be hurt by that sort of circumstance anymore. We've been through that. We can't really be hurt the same way we were the first time, certainly. So it's an end of a lot of things and the beginning of a lot of things for you this week, Capricorn. Certainly the end of a difficult life and the beginning of a great new life. Yet you round your week off with 8 of Swords, which is interesting. There is someone in your life who's not happy about it. There's someone who is representing with 8 of Swords energy, because 8 of Swords really talks about feeling like you're the victim, playing the victim, gaslighting. This is generally very toxic energy, 8 of Swords. This is usually someone who's very alienated and blames everybody else for their alienation. It's almost as if, Capricorn, you've really very much arrived and come to the end of this period of struggle, and someone is just not happy about it. 8 of Swords, or someone is just, I almost want to say that they're resonating with a little bit of Scorpion energy, in a sense that they're very envious. They're trying to sort of really take the wind out of your sails. But you know what's strange about this, Capricorn? This feels like this is a relative to me. This feels like it's a relative or a younger person, maybe even a teenager or a younger child, like a young adult child or stepchild. It feels like this person is someone that you have a good, like, I don't even want to say a good necessarily, but you do have a strong connection with them. And it's not without a certain amount of love there, right? The golden egg is there. The heart chakra is open, but they are very difficult and childish. And this is why I'm saying it almost could feel like, like, say, for instance, if you're moving on to say you have a second marriage, right? And it's all coming together and you're really happy. That's what's being represented with this 10 of Pentacles. And it's the end of a really lonely period, 10 of Swords. This 8 of Swords energy would maybe be like your kid, like your 19-year-old kid or even 20-year-old kid or what have you, who's just pissed off because you're getting married again. Or their kid, right? Or your stepchildren, your soon-to-be stepchildren who are pissed. You know what I mean? This feels like a very childish, toxic energy that you're going to have to contend with this week, because they're just not happy. 6 of Cups, 9 of Wands, Temperance. Okay, so again, some of you this week are dealing with 6 of Cups energy, which is a real feeling of having a pleasant relationship with somebody, having a nice commitment with someone. You're spending really good time with them. This is quality time, right? 6 of Cups is the card for pleasure. And this is pleasure in relationships. Oftentimes these will even be friendships that you've had for a very long time. Sometimes this can be a romantic relationship, right? This is one of the so-called soulmate cards in the deck. And it can be like this because a lot of times 6 of Cups can be, for instance, that friend you've been friends with your whole life, and then at one point you realize that you guys are in love and it turns into romance, right? Or it could just be that soulmate that you know them, you've known them through many different lives, but you know what I mean? It's like you see them sometimes you don't. Maybe you've seen them years ago, or what have you. There is a deeper connection here than just companionship or what have you, right? Either friendship or romance that's developed out of friendship, or even a new romance. But in any case, you're having really pleasant interactions. That's the thing with 6 of Cups. It's all about the joy that you get out of being together, regardless of the nature of your relationship. And so you're coming into this week with this kind of activity going on. You're just really happy to be with somebody, spending some really quality time. You are sort of met with a 9 of Wands, and this is kind of a feeling of realizing that there's still some baggage there. It could be that as a result of hanging out with this person or spending time with this person, quality time, this week you do sort of realize that there are still some areas in your life, some baggage maybe that you might be holding on to in your life that suddenly is being highlighted as a result of you spending time with them, right? So it could be just that interacting with them on that level just sort of has really brought some of these things to the surface for you, Capricorn, because you find yourself, 9 of Wands is really like looking back on that. Looking back on, and when I say baggage, I mean baggage by like sort of, it could be just ideas that you have about life or about the way relationships should go. Or it could be, ideas about yourself that you've held on to, self-image or maybe insecurities, If you're like the type of person who that whenever you spend quality time with somebody, you begin to feel insecure or you begin to say, well, why are they even bothering to spend time with me? That's the type of baggage I'm talking about. That can be considered one of these wands, one of these things, so when we talk about that, we talk about like, either ideas about yourself, modes of behavior, just things about yourself that serve to sort of alienate you. You may have held on to them at a time in your life where maybe that sort of way of behaving or thinking has helped you get through a difficult time. But now it just begins to alienate you. And you feel this coming in this week with the 6 of Cups, like you're enjoying yourself, but it's certainly bringing up all of these emotions like this, or for whatever they are for you, Capricorn, because this is going to be very individual and personal to you if you're resonating with this reading. It's not going to be the same for everyone, whatever these hang-ups are. But it's just waking up to that. And in a way, it's a really good thing, Capricorn, because I think that this relationship, this joy that you have being with this person really shines a light on these areas. And it's just in time for you to sort of lay that all down, right? You have to face up to it before you can lay it down. But it feels like a real healing moment, Capricorn. And of course, you round off the week with Temperance, which is a real feeling of control, not reacting, understanding yourself, knowing yourself. This feels to me, Capricorn, like a really good, healthy way of healing yourself or getting to know yourself as a result of this really enjoyable relationship. It feels a lot like a bit of the Mirror and the Sword and Rose, in the sense that the Mirror, of course, you're really reflecting, you're facing up to some of these things within yourself or maybe even in the relationship. And then the Sword and the Rose, in the sense that, you're accepting it and you're understanding what it is. You realize it's there, but yet you guys are sort of forming a united force against it. Your love and your honor and sort of your connection here is strong enough to kind of get you through it. You round off the week with Temperance, which is just like a really nice understanding and learning. You may even sort of exercise or, you might even have a bit of a catharsis through all of this where you can finally let go of this, because the next card here is 10 of Wands, and that's letting go of all the things that we've held on to that have become quite oppressive. So this is a really nice feeling of healing through a really nice romantic relationship, love relationship. 2 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and the High Priestess. This is your last spread, Capricorn. Some of you are coming into the week with 2 of Swords, which is a real feeling of having to make an impossible decision. Some of you are really sort of vexed. You're in a sort of quandary. 2 of Swords is not being able to choose either. Both swords look the same. They weigh the same. They feel the same. They seem to have the same benefit. Yet the woman in the figure is still trying to discern which one to choose. Oftentimes, this card really is the card for balance, because really what she's doing, she's finding a balance between the two. Right? She's in the center between the 2 swords, and she's really found a balance. Of course, it begins off with a decision, and oftentimes 2 of Swords energy can feel like a decision. It can feel like somebody's forcing us sometimes into a decision. But that's just the way it comes across. Ultimately, the 2 of Swords scenario is a scenario which is asking us to find a way to balance everything, to find a balance between the 2 lives, the 2 options, the 2 opportunities, the 2 ways of behaving, perhaps, or thinking. And so you come into the week with this energy of trying to figure out which way to go, perhaps trying to find a balance, and you're met with a 9 of Swords. I'm going to say for a lot of you, I hope you understand what I mean, that it is about balance, but certainly for a lot of you come into the week and you may still be sort of feeling very pressured to make a decision. either way, and it's really bothering you. Nine of Swords is sleepless nights, regret, guilt, worrying that you're going to make the wrong choice, worrying what do you do, which way do you go. Some of you may be deciding, do you move, do you not move, do you leave, do you stay. You do have the boat there. And there is, and with the mirror being, talking about introspection and really sort of looking at yourself and taking a good hard look in the mirror, right? You're finding yourself in a really difficult position here. What I will say, though, is you round your week off with the High Priestess, and I think for the most part, the High Priestess reminds us that you oftentimes already know what you should be doing. You just excuse my cat; she's always starts to cry. The High Priestess reminds us that you oftentimes already have the answer within you. You already know what you should do or how to move forward. Certainly, it should be moving forward with balance. It should be moving forward in a way that is right for you. Certainly never make a decision that you feel forced to make, right? That's a manipulation, right? And so I think a lot of this is because, for you don't, perhaps the options you're given aren't fair. Maybe you just don't agree with the way everything is going down, and you just feel like you don't want to be pushed to do something that you don't want to do, and it's really pulling at you. Again, though, High Priestess reminds you to be confident and to listen to your voice. And even if your voice is telling you to do something that's completely outside the sphere of what everyone else around you is sort of pressuring you with, follow your inner voice, follow your heart, open up your heart chakra, certainly, so you can listen to yourself and your real feelings, so you can really know how you feel inside. And let that guide you. Let that heart chakra and your intuitive abilities, that voice in your head, let the two of them together guide you into the right decision. All right, guys, this is your reading, February 1st to the 7th for Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you want to get into the running for the Love Oracle cards, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel and leave me a comment letting me know that you'd like to be in the drawing. Okay, guys? Other than that, if you want to get a private reading, follow the link at the top of your screen. If you want to get a tarot answers is awesome because it's a 10-minute pre-recorded tarot reading answer to one of your questions. It gets uploaded on a private link for you to watch, and it's the same day turnaround. I usually turn those around within 4 to 6 hours, and it's a good way to check and see if you want to go for a deeper reading. If you want to book any of those, just follow those links. If you have any problems booking anything with me ever, just email me at bowandarrowtarot@gmail.com. For right now, have a wonderful week, Capricorn, and I will see you next week for your weekly. Bye-bye now.